When did you first find out about sickle cell?
I knew about it before college. I heard about it. I didn't know much about it. And like most people, I thought it was just something that black people got from their parents.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't yet know that if you had a hemoglobin C and another parent had a trait or hemoglobin S, that together you would have a child with the disease. I didn't know that back then. Until I had your youngest.
Older brother.
And your dad didn't know he had the sickle cell trait, the S trait. Stiffness and the stickiness of the blood cells and the cells shaping like a sickle or a crescent moon or one of them crescent rolls that you eat.
Right.
It's shaped like that.
When did you first find out that your kids had it? I know you already explained that a little. Can you go a little into detail, like about when we were first born, like in the hospital?
Yeah, because they started screening. They didn't used to do screening for that years ago. I got a letter in the mail saying that the screening showed that Jalen had SC, Sickle Cell Disease. And when I read that letter, I still got that letter now, I was devastated. I cried. I went to go grab him, and I was like, oh, didn't know much about it still, but I just knew sickle cell and pain. That's all I knew. Are you crying? No. Oh, are you serious? But then after that, I just had to go from there and do my research and figure out what I needed to do and what to expect.
How did you feel? You probably felt the same way when I was born and I was diagnosed?
I didn't feel the same way. I mean, you know what? It's so funny though. I didn't feel the exact same way because I had already dealt with Jalen 5 years, so I knew, okay, I'm going to have to deal with this again. I know how to deal with this. Both of you all did have one blood transfusion when you all were younger. That was really hard when Jalen, when his went down low. That was the first time me experiencing that because I think we were like at the cable company. I was paying the bill and all of a sudden his stomach started hurting. I think he started choking on some candy. That's what it was. And I started doing that. Heimlich, what do you call it?
Heimlich?
However you say it.
I said compression.
So I started doing that. He was choking. So it finally came out. And then later on, he started complaining about his stomach.
Cute.
No, and I'm thinking that I probably caused something. So I called his doctor and stuff, and she told me to take him right into the emergency. I took him in. They had to admit him. And they said he was going through what they call splenic sequestration. And this was at a time where, you know, with the blood transfusions, they were talking about AIDS, passing AIDS onto the person. And so they wanted to do a blood transfusion on him. Okay, I was going to let him go do the blood transfusion on him because that's what he needed. Okay, but your dad didn't want him to have the blood transfusion. So I looked at your dad and I'm like, okay, so he's either going to die from not having the blood transfusion or he's going to die from having the transfusion. I started calling people, asking them would they donate blood to him. And I was frantic. So I talked to the doctor over the phone and I said, well, what will happen if he doesn't get the blood transfusion? The doctor told me he would die. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I started crying again. I said, give him the blood transfusion. And it was something else.
He's still alive.
He's still here.
Can you, say, what we always say it feels like when we're in pain? What do we always...
Like somebody stabbing you with a knife. And I always say, well, you've never been stabbed, you know, with a knife, so how would you know? So I guess you would imagine that that's something real painful, which I can't relate either. I've never been stabbed with a knife. Yes, I have. When I was cutting some hamburger apart, I stabbed myself in the... No, you are like any other normal person. You know, you just have this little mutation in your cells that's causing all of these problems.
Would you say you've learned a lot more about sickle cell over the years?
A whole lot. Because all I knew was sickle cell causes pain. That's all I knew. Now I know much more. And then there's some things I don't know. But yes, I've learned a lot about sickle cell disease.
Do you wish we didn't have sickle cell?
Of course. I'm wondering, how did this happen? I'm sitting up here, I'm younger and I'm taking care of my sister's kids and things like that. When I didn't have any kids and I have kids and have sickle cell, I'm like, what did I do? And I have 2. Why?
I think you probably already answered this, but what's the most challenging thing with having children with sickle cell?
When you all go through the pain.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and caring and nurturing
yep.
and
researching,
providing for your kids. Thank you.